Hello guys, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Hamza Ali and you're watching Code with Hami. So let's get into it. So first we will talk about what functions are. So functions are bread and butter of JavaScript programming. The concept of wrapping up a piece of code in a block has many values. In JavaScript, the functions are first-class citizens. So what do I mean by first-class citizen? I mean that there are 3 points that we will discuss uh, regarding the function being first-class citizens, which are functions can be assigned to a variable, function can be passed as an argument, and the third one is function can be returned from a function. So I'll just list them down here. And the third one is function can be returned from a function. So function can be assigned to a variable, function can be passed as an argument, and the third one is function can be returned from a function. So if we take a look into these 3 points, then let's just look at the first point, which is function can be assigned as a variable. So if we are going to create a variable which is add to, and we are going to assign an anonymous function which is just going to return the argument, sum of the arguments, which are a and b. So as you can see, we just passed a function, we just assigned a function to a variable. So if we were to call this function console.log add to, so it should now, if we pass an argument 1 and 2, it should return us, it should print out the value of sum of these 1 and 2, which is 3. So as you can see, we got 3 as a result. So what we are doing here is we are assigning a function to a variable which is add to, and then we are calling that function with an argument of 1 and 2, and console logging the result returned by the function add2. So this is the first point, which is function can be assigned. So now to look at that, we are going to move to the next, which is function can be passed as an argument. So we have a function which is add2, which just adds the some of the arguments that are passed. Now we are going to create a function which is just like middleware. Let's just call it a middleware function, and we are going to take a function as an argument, function, and we are going to call that function argument. So now instead of calling add2 directly, we are going to call middleware and pass add2 as an argument, and from here we are going to pass away two numbers that we want to pass to this function. So we got it. Now if we run this, it should return us 3 as a result. Undefined, it returning us undefined. So okay, so why is it returning us undefined? Okay, so yeah, so we have to return from here. Why do we need to return here from here? Because this add to function is being called from here, and we are console logging the result here. So if we do not pass anything, return anything from this function middleware, it will always give us undefined. Now we are returning the value returned by the add to function, then it should print, print out the result of, yeah, we got 3 here. So what this basically means is function can be passed as an argument. So we are, as you can see, we are passing a function add to function to a middleware function, and then calling that function passed function inside the middleware function. So this is what the function can be passed as an argument means. The third point is function can be returned from a function. So let's just create a new function, const parent function. Let's call it a parent function. We are just going to return an anonymous function from here, which is just going to console log the return function. And if we call this function parent function and save the return value of this parent function in a variable return function, and as this function return parent function returns a new function, then we are able to call this return function as treat this return function variable as a function. So what do I mean by that? Like, we should be able to call this return function variable. So if I've saved this, we should be see the return function printed out. Yeah, we got return function printed out. You can see the another way of calling this function is without variable, is if we remove this and add another parenthesis here. So this should also print out return function. So what how does this work is parent function is called first, and then the parent function returns a new function. So the return value, like this function, return value is a function, so we are calling the return value as a function. Another by adding another parenthesis, we are calling the return function here from the parent function. So these 3 points are makes the function a first class citizen. What are these 3 points? Function can be assigned to a variable. The second one is function can be passed as an argument, and the third one is function can be returned from a function.